adoptees are randomly placed. And in some studies, for example, a big one from New York by an economist named Sacker Dote, there's actually reasonably good evidence that the placement was more or less random. So yeah, that's one kind of study we can do, looking at resemblance between parents and their offspring or between siblings
Hmm.
in these different kinds of families. That's one thing we used to do. We still do it. We still continue to look at twins and other kinds of kinships in this way. Okay, one thing we do now that we didn't do back in the 80s or the 90s, what we call genome-wide association studies.
GWAS, right?
Yeah, that's the abbreviation, where we directly measure various sites in the genome where people differ from each other. Like, for example, at one site, one person might be GC, another person might be CC, another person might be GG. And we look to see whether those differences are correlated with some phenotype that we're studying.
Hmm.
And these tests are conducted at many hundreds of thousands of sites, millions across the whole genome. And with sufficient statistical power, that means a large enough sample size, we can pick out some of these variants as definitely being correlated with the trait that we're studying. And so, in many ways, this goes beyond the traditional twin or family study.
And we've talked a
Yeah.
little bit about GWASs in the podcast before. We had Eugene Lin, who's a graduate student in Robert Plowman's lab, as a guest here, and we talked about some of her work. So it's really fascinating. I think that both these family studies you talked about and these GWASs, I think they each have their place.